Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fourth and Always Late, Fourth and Forever, Roundtable Sports, real coverage from real fans. Listen, we just wanted to keep you at the edge of our seats because damn right, Jaxson Dart might be elite, all right, based off of 3 preseason performances, dare I say, and some trades that have occurred, some teams that are dealing with injuries and several other storylines as we are now a little less than 2 weeks away from the beginning of the 2025 NFL season. I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling good. Richie, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I told you, Joe. I told you so, Jaxson. I'm kidding. He hasn't done anything. It's just preseason ball. I'm not jumping the gun. But I told you all. Just kidding. I mean, I was the one that was first. I'm just kidding. All right, No, all jokes aside, man. It's great to see you, man. Here on Fourth and Forever, Dan, Tony, everybody in the chat, make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button. Yesterday's show was fantastic. You know, we clipped that segment, by the way, of TD's wild Buffalo Bills take, and we re-uploaded it on this YouTube channel, and it's taken some steam. It's taken off. And
is it?
Yeah, it is. It's doing very well.
Nice.
And people are like, how is this guy TD Finstock employed? Who is this guy? He ruins the integrity of the show, man. Bills Mafia did not like that take you had, TD.
Well, hey, you know, it's a part of it, but you know what? I'm a believer in receipts. That's why when I gave my take, I said clip it. It's a hot take, clip it. Because when we revisit it, I want you all to hold the fan bases accountable for keeping the same energy. So when what I said comes true, let's just make sure we keep the same energy. Make sure you come back, okay?
So one thing is, like, I do find it funny about TD, and something that I actually respect him for. Very oftentimes when somebody throws out a very controversial take, a response is typically keep that same energy. Regardless of how many times that Buffalo has embarrassed TD, at least seemingly, he has still kept that energy. That you cannot deny. He still continues to tell us that Buffalo is not a good football team, regardless of what happens.
Yeah, they're not.
So I think we can all admit that. Like, make sure you keep that same energy. He does. He continues to live in delusion regardless of the performance. Preseason, postseason, what have you. That much I think that we can give TD Finstock credit for.
Dan, you think you're slick. The reality is I can't foresee injuries to our quarterback and things like that. It's the only reason Buffalo's even, debunked some of my previous takes. But it's okay. We'll see this year, man. Let's get it. Fourth and Forever. We're here. Let's have some fun, man.
Shout out to Brantley saying you guys are fun to watch. We appreciate that. If you guys are entertained, just hit the like button. We want to get to 21,000 subscribers at least by the middle of September. We're like 300 subscribers away. That will be an awesome milestone. So guys, hit the subscribe button, share the show with your family members and your friends. If you have any friends, you have cousins, anybody that loves football, send them, be like, hey, Fourth and Forever on YouTube, on Roundtable Sports' YouTube channel. You check them out. Daily show. We appreciate you guys. Word of mouth, big piece of marketing.
Yeah, word of mouth is absolutely correct. Now, guys, listen, we have been welcoming in quite a few new callers on the Patreon Premier Member Hotline. And if, for example, you ever want to call in on this show or any other show on the Roundtable Sports Network, we highly suggest you check it out. It's only $10 per month. Link is in description. You will have the ability to call into this one and whatever show you would like. We have a show for each division. We have a college football show. We have individual team channels that are launching as well. So feel free. If, for example, you want to go the extra mile in supporting us, a bunch of really cool benefits over at Patreon. I can only imagine how many people are going to want to call in after week 1 when Buffalo is completely smoking the Baltimore Ravens. But that's early. I'm going to save that.
Dan, I got a prediction question for you. How many views do you think live are we going to get on that Monday after week 1?
So on this show or the AFC's Roundtable?
On this show.
Oh my God.
How much do you want to see live watching on that Monday?
So it depends on what happens. If, for example, that all 3 of our teams win, it's going to be well over 1,500. It's going to be well over 1,500.
Wow, that's bold.
That's if all of our teams win. Because I know Bills fans will show up. Dolphins fans will definitely act like they won the Super Bowl if they beat Daniel Jones. And by the way, they are 2-point underdogs. Okay, so that's a storyline we can talk about. So the Miami Dolphins are 2-point underdogs against the Indianapolis Colts.
Are they?
Yeah, it's true. They're 2-point underdogs. Yeah.
Oh, we finna make some money, but oh man,
you're
about to lose to Danny Dimes.
Well, okay. So you know what? Like, honestly, I'm definitely throwing away a great trolling opportunity, but that's typically how books are, right? Like, so the home team normally always gets 3 points just because
they got us 1 point.
So I will, So I will provide a little bit of context. I'm not really in my trolling personality just yet, but that time is coming. However, we got to talk about a dude, man. It's not Shedeur Sanders. It's not Cam Ward. It's definitely not Tyler Shook. It's Jaxson Dart-orific, man. And look, it's the preseason. And you're talking to a guy who regularly gets frustrated when I hear, oh my God, this guy's the next Josh Allen. Oh my God, he looks like Josh Allen did in year 3. I typically don't entertain that. But I got to tell you, some of the things I'm seeing from Jaxson Dart, and yes, I understand that it is the preseason, you are watching this young man, not afraid of contact whatsoever, has an absolute cannon, firing piss missiles all over the damn field. I'm going to show you a clip of the touchdown pass that he threw, that incredible pass that he did on the run, moving up on the pocket. It smells like Josh Allen. If it smells like Josh Allen and walks like Josh Allen, it might be Josh Allen 2.0. We typically hear Drake May, blah, blah, blah. Listen, Dart has done more in these 3 preseason games to remind me of Josh Allen than Drake May has ever. That much I can tell you. That much I can tell you. I can. And that's not a knock at Drake May. I'm not saying that I'm no longer high on Drake May. But as far as a player that I can look at, I'm like, okay, he's utilizing this strength, that strength, that strength. A far more similar comparison to me is what I see. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to be as good as Josh Allen, but I'm saying that's the type of player that he is. 32 for 47, 372 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 113.1 passer rating. Now, what I find to be interesting, and this is the play that I was talking about right here, walks up right before the line of scrimmage, wide open to the 0, takes that nearly to the end zone. If that fool was a little faster, we probably would have saw some things here. And let me pull up this absolute beauty of a touchdown pass. Right here, he's pissed off. He's like, yo, fool. He's like, yo, fool, I am not concussed. Hurry your ass up. Get me back in the game right now. I'm ready to make some plays. And then here it is. Look at this. Dart. Double coverage. Drops back. Hums it. Boom, baby. Ball placement right there. I am a Jaxson Dart believer. I'm not going to lie to you. And you know what? It is growing increasingly more difficult for me to stay on my take that the New York Giants need to bench him all year and let him develop. Very difficult for me to continue to stay on that. He's shown a lot more than Russell Wilson has for me. And take that with a grain of salt, obviously. But Richie, thoughts on Jaxson Dart, his preseason? Should they start him at some point this season?
Listen, first and foremost, you got to just say it is the preseason. And I have to remind you with that because we've seen many quarterbacks ball in the preseason and struggle. Zach Wilson was fantastic with the Jets in the preseason. Fantastic. And we all know who Zach Wilson is now with the Miami Dolphins. Sorry that he's on your team now, TD. You have to deal with that. But back to Jaxson Dart. I had to get that out of the way because Dart has not proved anything. He is not the franchise quarterback of the Giants yet. But with that being said, everything I'm seeing in the preseason from Jaxson Dart is exactly why I was high on him for the entire pre-draft process. Exactly why I said the New York Jets should consider drafting him. And why 90% of Jets fans thought I was out of my mind. I don't know ball. Jaxson Dart's another bust. We don't want him. And I was the one saying, like, I don't know, man. I saw him. Dan and I were there at the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, covering them on behalf of Roundtable Sports. I was able to interview Jaxson Dart. I was able to watch him with my own eyes. And you know what stood out to me about Jaxson Dart when I first started watching him at Ole Miss, right when I turned on the tape? There was something about him that just felt different, which is what gravitated me towards that whole narrative I was pushing of Jaxson Dart is going to be a first-round pick. And when I said that at the time, he was projected a 3rd or 4th round pick. And then he ended up skyrocketing up boards. Do you know what about him I love? His moxie. He has his presence of confidence that I really do think matters when you go to the next level. And that carried over. My biggest question is that moxie, is that confidence from Ole Miss, is it going to translate to the NFL? Because that's a big question mark. You never know. And you see it in the preseason at least. And he's out there just really calm, cool, collected. One of the first things you got to look at in a young quarterback is their feet and their eyes. Are they confident? Do they know where the ball needs to go? If they're frantic in the pocket, if they look like they don't know where they are, then it's all in their head. But he is confident out there. Brian Dable deserves a lot of credit because he is putting Jaxson Dart in a really good situation in terms of quick ball out of your hand fast, not long developing plays down the field, just being a point guard out there, just ball snapped, quick slant, ball snapped, screen pass, like just getting the ball out fast. And that is gaining confidence and only getting more rhythm. Now, to answer your question, Dan, should Jaxson Dart start at some point this season? The answer, in my opinion, is Russell Wilson should start week 1 because go look at the Giants' schedule. Their schedule is ridiculous to start off the season. And if Russell Wilson goes out there and he stinks it up and you're in week 5 and you're there 2-4 or whatever the case may be, 2-3, then you start thinking about bringing Jaxson Dart in. You do not start in week 1. You let Russell Wilson start it off. And I think there is a world where if the Giants are, a few games below 500, I think they're going to hand the keys to Jaxson Dart midway point in the season and let him show what he's capable of. But he has not proved anything yet. But man, has he been impressive so far in the preseason.
So we saw it firsthand at the Senior Bowl. And for people that are like, oh my God, maybe Dan and Richie were just watching the highlights from last evening, that's the furthest thing from the case. We have been Jaxson Dart believers since February of last year, even toward the back half of his college career at Ole Miss. He played in the SEC. He beat my damn Georgia Bulldogs last year in impressive fashion. Why he did not get the national spotlight more than he deserved to, that is still left to be determined. But one thing I can tell you, out of every single fan base that is welcoming in a new quarterback so far, and granted it is the preseason, I think it's safe to say that Giants fans should be the most excited from what they have seen. And like Richie said, kudos to Brian Dable because you need to be able to establish confidence within your quarterback immediately. That is what he is doing. We have to forgive Dable for the past couple of years, especially since Jones obviously was hit or miss behind that offensive line. He had a carousel of quarterbacks last year.
And you know who I meant,
very good
Dan?
offensive mind.
I want to give credit to the Giants ownership for sticking with Brian Dable because that's important. They almost fired him, and that was a big decision. I think them staying and giving Brian Dable his chance to get their quarterback is very important because some owners, especially the Jets, they don't allow coaches to figure themselves out. Sometimes you just need time. And I also want to ask you this real quick, Dan, and then we'll get the TD. I slightly disagree that he looks like a baby Josh Allen. I think there's other quarterbacks that he reminds me of. I don't see Josh Allen in his game. Josh Allen is powerful arm, can run over people. I see a guy that can pick apart. Josh Allen's MVP quarterback. I don't want to make it seem like I'm slighting him here, but I feel like Josh Allen's strengths aren't those quick, short, medium throws where you can just get the ball out fast with timing and precision and accuracy. Josh Allen's capable of that, but that was not Josh Allen's game coming out of Wyoming is what my point is. Josh Allen was raw. He had to figure a lot of things out, and he developed into the MVP he is now, where now he can make every single throw. He is the MVP quarterback. He reminds me of a guy like Bo Nix out of college and Jalen Hurts, kind of a mix of those two, where Bo Nix can make those short intermediate throws over the middle. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl winning quarterback. I mean, I don't think it's disrespectful. If he has a season like Bo Nix did last year, that's a great thing. So I feel like that's kind of his play style. He can run like Hurts. He can throw across the middle of the field. And obviously the Josh Allen comparison, you can see an MVP in his life, maybe, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. What I see from him is somebody that is a further developed Josh Allen when Josh Allen came into the league.
Yeah.
Is from what I see. I see him being at a better position than Josh Allen was when he was a rookie. He's got balls. He's not afraid of contact. He's got the size. He's not afraid to make plays on the ground. He's not out there making dumb decisions. He's going through his progressions. He's going through his reads. And one thing, we forget that Brian Dable is indeed an offensive-minded genius. I think that a lot of us can credit the massive jump that Josh Allen was able to take in year 3, whether or not you wanted to give it to Diggs. But a lot of it had to do with Brian Daboll. And Daboll knows, as long as you have a guy that fits within his system, I think the sky is the limit for this young man. And I'm very excited to see how his career turns out. TD, thoughts?
All right, so Jaxson Dart hype train is here, but not for me. Okay. I may be a little bit different here. I spent the last 10 minutes looking at every pass that he had twice. Okay. The whole little highlight reel or low light, they showed every pass. And I just said, let me get a second look. Let me take a look at what's going on. I'm impressed and unimpressed with Jaxson Dart's performance. When you look at it, Daboll might get fired and they may ruin Jaxson Dart after what I saw. I just saw. Jaxson Dart has a nice arm. Jaxson Dart, there is room for improvement for ball placement, but there's also times where he's throwing absolute dimes, and guess what? The team around him isn't helping him. They're dropping the ball left and right. I just literally watched it. I'm like, how many drop passes? But also, he threw the ball 6 times over 15 yards, and 0 of them were completed passes. Now, mind you, 3 of them were dropped, and they were dimes right in the bucket, but the other 3 did deserve better ball placement. Even that touchdown dart that Dan talks about is thrown behind the receiver. Tight end had to turn around to catch it close to the defender. Inside, a defender was coming too, but that was actually the safer throw. But again, touchdowns are touchdowns in this league. So, and it's early, it's preseason. You don't have all the starters out there. I'm going to slow down a little bit. And I don't mean to make this comparison, but I am going to compare because it's important to, because there was a lot of comparison pre and post draft with Shedeur Sanders. He's played more than Shedeur, but I'm still more impressed with what Shedeur has done so far than Jaxson Dart overall. But it'll serve when Cleveland plays again. That'll be the final say because Jaxson Dart has more film now. Plus, I don't knock him for the team around him not helping him, literally just dropping passes left and right. Daboll got to get that together. But let me say this. I differ from y'all. Man, the kid already looked better than Russell Wilson. He already looked better than Russell Wilson to me, so
more promising.
I'm sorry. I don't care that you have a rough schedule starting out. If he gives the best chance to win, let's see what Jaxson Dart got. Let's go, Jaxson Dart. Because I'm a firm believer when you show what he's already shown, he meets my eye test to say he deserves that shot early. And if things don't go so well, you're not this team ain't making those playoffs this year anyway. So if things don't go well, pull them, put Russ in, let them sit back for another 5 to 6 weeks, and maybe re-enter it later in the season. But I would go ahead and spark the team, spark the and like here's what I say. If you tell your player there is no expectation, then how can you ruin him? Like, did Jaden Daniels have to wait to get the action? Who he's going to be going up against in week 1? This is your competition, and it's going to be that way for the next 20 years if you work out. Why am I hiding you from it? Did they hide Jaden Daniels from it? Did CJ Stroud have to hide from it? You see what I'm saying? So that's why I feel that way. But I do understand protecting guys too and working them into it. But if you believe in them, no, man, you let a guy go rip it.
So if they're serious about this, because right now I look at the Giants, and they're very high on Dart, obviously, as all of us should be. You have arguably one of the best front sevens in all of football already. And a lot of those guys are still under contract for the foreseeable future. You already have your wide receiver 1. Have a great left tackle. Rest of the offensive line obviously needs to be completely ripped apart and starting from scratch. But I think it's safe to say that this team is a year away from competing for the NFC East. I genuinely
believe
away
from competing for the NFC East?
A year away from being an NFC East contender. I do. I genuinely believe that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
not this year, but
Dart needs to play this year and show he's that dude for that to happen. And the Giants need to definitely figure out that offensive line, because what separates the Giants from teams like the Eagles and the Cowboys is the trenches, at least on the offensive side of the ball. And also the Giants are you can argue could be what's the toughest division in the league heading into this year? That's up for debate. You can say,
so look,
NFC East.
So the perfect example.
Yeah.
So the perfect example was the Washington Commanders last year. Who in their right mind thought that the Washington Commanders were going to even compete for the NFC East, make the Philadelphia Eagles sweat, make it to the NFC Championship? That has to do with the quarterback.
And they didn't even have
a quarterback.
They didn't even have an elite defense. And in the run game was fine, but because when you got a quarterback, you let him go do his thing, especially when the league isn't used to him. So that's why I'm saying that if you really believe, then you get that kid the shot.
I got to ask you guys a question, because we had a topic across the network, across all divisions. The only division that did not cover this topic was our own, because TD wasn't there, so I want to save it. But we asked all of our creators to rank the quarterbacks within their respective divisions. Yeah. And we asked the NFC East Roundtable to rank their quarterbacks, and man, was it heated. It is going viral right now, actually. And I just want to play this clip for you guys. You guys can get a little flavor of it. And the reason why this is so good is because every single creator put their own quarterback at number one besides the Giants. So check this out. This is a clip from the NFC East Roundtable. Make sure you guys go check it out.
The NFC East. So I'm going with your top 4 quarterbacks in the NFC East. So I'm going with Dak Prescott as QB1. He can run one of the most complicated offenses that he had under Kellen Moore, switch over to Mike McCarthy and be efficient. He's just seen it all. QB2, going with Jalen Hurts. He's a specimen. 1, just with this ground game and being able to utilize his legs, being a dual threat. 3, Daniels, right? I feel like Daniels is young. He's emerging. He will be probably one of the best quarterbacks in the division probably in 2 years or so. And then for the Giants, man, I'm going with Dart. I just think we might as well just get it ready. I just think probably by week 4, week 5, I got Dak, Hurts, JD, and then Dart.
Your top. So before we keep going, the opening creator of being J Tuck, right when you watch that, the comments are immediately like, Dak number 1. It's hilarious. Before you even go any further, J Tuck's sitting there with the most straight-faced confidence in the world. You had Dak number 1. And then you got Rio right away like, what?
Top 4 quarterback. NFC.
Number 1 in the division is Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels just took the 20th best roster in the league to the NFC Championship. Number 2 in the division is obviously Jalen Hurts. He's very dynamic, and he can get it done when the lights are the brightest. Jaxson Dart has proved as much in this league as Dak Prescott. That's exactly why he's the 3rd best quarterback in the NFC. If for baseball's sake, your only life raft to keep your job here is to put Dart on the field, it's Jaden, Hurts, Dak, and whatever the Giants are putting out there at quarterback this year, but hopefully it's Dart.
Your top 4 quarterbacks in the NFC East.
We are going with the Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts, who in the biggest games has his biggest games when the lights are the brightest. He shines the brightest. Jaden Daniels is number 2. Jaden Daniels puts his team in positions to win. Jaden Daniels puts the team on his back. Number 3, I'll go Dak because Dart is a rookie. We already know what we're going to get out of Dak every year. And Dart.
1 through 4, KB, your quarterbacks in the NFC East.
I'm going to say right now, Jaden Daniels is the best in the division. He came in his rookie year. He wound up not only leading the team in rushing and also being a dynamic passer as well. So I got to put JD5 at number 1. Number 2, I'm going to go Jalen Hurts. Listen, he's a proven winner. He's a leader, and he's a good quarterback. I'm going to have to give the 3rd spot to Dak Prescott. We're like in the Bermuda Triangle right now, Giants Island, because we have no idea what to expect from these quarterbacks at all. Russell Wilson past his prime. Jaxson Dart is a rookie. Can't expect anything from these guys.
That's the NFC's Roundtable. That clip's going viral across the internet. What was your guys' thoughts of their rankings?
It's probably one of the most heated debates as far as who truly is QB1 for the NFC East. Surprisingly enough, I don't hate that J Tuck even suggested Dak Prescott. many NFC East fans like, come on, Dak Prescott. But it's not crazy. I'm not laughing them out the building. I'm not like looking at that like TD saying that Tua is better than Josh.
And you know
Allen,
what
right?
stat he brought up, J Tuck? That like I think Dak's like 33-8 against NFC East opponents or something crazy.
Yeah.
Dominates the division.
So y'all know that I have been a huge proponent, and this is a part of my personality at this point. I do not believe that team successes are quarterback successes. I really do not. So very often, if you were to ask me to rank all the quarterbacks as far as skill set alone, and whether or not that you wanted to be sticklers on sample size, I'd probably have Jaden as number one for me, because what Rio mentioned is absolutely true. He was able to carry a team as a rookie that was ranked as the 27th supporting cast in the NFC East. I think that's true, right? Like, that's just raw talent. That is very impressive. Maybe some of you can come out and say, oh my God, he had Cliff Kingsbury. He's also very good. That just continues to add fuel to the fire that wins are not a quarterback stat. I will continuously believe that. I will die on that hill. I always will. Number two for me, I'd put Dak Prescott over Jalen Hurts as well. I sincerely would. I do agree with J Tuck that I think that he is able to run a very complicated offense. He has dealt with several offensive coordinators. The only thing that is keeping him off of the field is injuries, right? When he is available, he's regularly in the MVP conversation. He's quality at reading defenses. Sure, some of you might say, oh my God, it's all garbage time. Of course, semantics, blah, blah, blah. And then I'd probably put Jalen Hurts after the fact. That's not a dig at Jalen Hurts. He's a good quarterback, obviously. He's just in a division with a lot of very good quarterbacks. It's difficult for me to crown a guy who has an elite supporting cast. It's true. It's very difficult for me. If somebody is going to rank a quarterback based off of team success and looking at the overall supporting cast that obviously carries weight, I can't take that person seriously. I'm sorry, I just can't. And then last is obviously Russell Wilson.
TD was shaking his head the whole time. Why are you shaking your head at Dan? Well, you're muted. That's why.
He's speechless. And because he just heard elite ball knowledge. He can't.
Dan is spinning way too much heat.
Way too much elite ball knowledge. It was just on this show.
Like,
and I fried his sound system. While he's figuring that out, Richie, why don't you give me your take on that one? Go ahead.
Oh, TD with this technology, man.
Go ahead.
But listen, I think this is a really interesting debate. Now, you just gave Dak Prescott a lot of flowers that I think he deserves. And I think there's another quarterback that deserves flowers that doesn't get it enough is Jalen Hurts. Like, I think Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, is without a doubt the most underrated quarterback in the NFL. I genuinely believe that. I really do. There's way too much hate and discredit on his name. And he's not overrated, I'll tell you that much, because there's nobody giving him credit like, at all. That guy's a Super Bowl MVP. And I think people don't look into people in this era of football, in my opinion, look way too deep into stats of quarterbacks, completion percentage, yards. What does he do statistically? What's the box score? But if you watch the games and you look at, and I know, Dan, you always say like winning isn't a quarterback stat, but in my opinion, you need to have your quarterback come through in winning moments in the biggest games. That matters. And Jalen Hurts came through in those biggest games, like Simone mentioned very eloquently. When they needed to make plays, Jalen Hurts made those throws. He made those big runs to pick up those first downs. He made winning football plays on the biggest stage. In my opinion, he's done more in this league than Dak Prescott. I mean, Dak Prescott's got way better numbers. He's got the better passing yards. He's got all these different numbers. That's way better. But when it comes to like how Jalen Hurts was able to actually make those winning plays in the biggest moments, I think people just like wipe that away and just look at the box score and be like, yeah, well, he only doesn't put up a lot of passing yards. He doesn't this. He has Saquon. He has all these things. That's all I'm going to say. Jalen Hurts is not the number one quarterback in the division in my eyes, but I think he deserves some credit. I'm going to give him his flowers. I think he deserves it.
And so I'm not trying to discredit Hurts.
No, not
all. I think that he's a good quarterback, right? Like, we're having two different conversations here, folks, right? Like, we're not talking about the AFC East where there is a clear winner. Like where there is a clear number one quarterback in this division.
Thank you.
we're talking about perhaps the most loaded division in quarterback talent. I think that's fair to say.
TD trying to convince us Tua is the best, dude. 2 years
He's
old.
trying
We don't
to
have to
convince us
debate that.
Tua
We
is
don't
the
have to
guy,
debate
isn't
that
he?
today.
He's trying to convince. Hey, listen, I know that
You
this
remember
take
when
is
TD was
getting-
actually
hey,
standing on 10 toes saying Tua was...
See, now you can't.
sure do.
Said Tua,
I sure
Tua
do.
was playing better than Josh Allen at that moment for that season. But anyway, let me get to mine. Let me get to my take on this, the NFC East, okay? Jalen Hurts is exactly why he's the epitome of an example of why Josh Allen won MVP this year. Because the great players like Lamar Jackson get penalized because what's around them. Even though the stats are still better and everything, but look at what's around you and you get penalized for it. And that's what's happening to Jalen Hurts. My order, number 4, Jaxson Dart, because I'm over Russ. Number 3, Dak Prescott. Dak don't even belong in a 1 or 2 conversation because I ain't seen him go to an NFC championship game. I ain't seen him go to a Super Bowl. Every time Dak Prescott get on the big stage, guess what he does? He actually shows you my cardinal sin. Don't be a part of the reason your team loses in the big game. And he is. He is. Every time they get bounced in the first or the second, lucky second round, rarely, Dak Prescott don't play well. He digs a hole, and then all of a sudden, 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, down by 30. Oh, we're coming back, but we still lose. No, you dug the hole. Who cares? So on the biggest stage, when it matters most, when the postseason comes, Dak is nowhere to be found. I'm sorry. He is non-existent. Out of the, maybe 7 or 8 probably games in that situation, he's maybe had 1 decent one. Maybe 1. No, he don't even belong in the conversation. Now we get to the 2 top dogs in the division, Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts. I'm going to go number 1 is Jalen Hurts. The one thing Jalen Hurts hasn't done in his career is contribute in a bad way to any loss in the postseason when it mattered most. He has always contributed. He hasn't to a win. He hasn't contributed to a loss. Anytime they lost, he still played well. He still played well. Jaden Daniels, same thing, but it's still not a good sample size. I kind of have him tied because Jaden has a higher ceiling with what he's already done, but you got to give it to the guy who's already done it, okay, on numerous occasions. So Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in that division. He's the most efficient. He doesn't put his team in harm's way. He doesn't put them down. He gives them the best chance to win. Jaden Daniels carries a little, but at the same token, insufficient sample size to really label him the best right now. But I'm not mad at anybody that want to put him first. But that's my order. Jaden, Hurts, Daniels, Dak, Dart.
So this is a tired hypothetical, right? Because quite often when Philly won the Super Bowl, big trend was just like, hey, how many quarterbacks, if replaced with Jalen Hurts, would have won the Super Bowl as well? I don't want to ask that question, but I do want to ask, would the Philadelphia Eagles' performance, and obviously this is indeed a hypothetical, have been significantly different if, for example, Jaden Daniels or Dak Prescott switched places with Jalen Hurts last year? That's a pretty interesting exercise.
I'm glad
That's
you
what
said
they debated.
Yeah, if Dak Prescott was on that team, they might have lost the Super Bowl. Because in the big moments, he's a part. Like, think about it. Look at how Mahomes played in the Super Bowl. Was it good?
No.
And that's rare for Mahomes. But that's exactly how Dak plays in those moments. It would have been a much even playing field.
So, TD, would you consider yourself a Dak hater?
No.
Dak doubter?
No, I don't doubt Dak. I just know who he is. He's Romo 2.0. It's the same thing Romo was.
So
You're
would you
put
agree?
The stats up.
Would you agree that Tua is a less version of Dak?
Barely. It's
like it sounds exactly the same.
Dak's mobility is better, but Dak hasn't moved the same. He hasn't moved the same, especially as of late. He's become a better pocket passer. And again, I put both of them in the same category of good enough not to be good enough. They're a step above the Trevor Lawrence and Kylers, but they're below all the guys that I feel like can get the job done. You got to perform in those moments when you go up against the big competition. We got to hold Dak accountable for that. Didn't we hold Romo accountable for it? Every year. You got to hold Dak accountable for the same thing.
So the problem is it's tough for me not to give Dak a pass with who is calling the shots from a transactional standpoint. With Jerry Jones being the chief of roster personnel and building.
I don't think it's the roster, Dan. I look at those playoff games and say, Dak, why did you throw that?
As well. And maybe it's excuses. But it's very difficult for me to see Dak Prescott not be able to win that Super Bowl with A.J. Brown, with the best running back in all of football, with arguably the best offensive line in all of football.
But wouldn't you agree Dak has had football? But the narrative with the Cowboys is he's always had
it was different.
Dan,
but the Cowboys had so many weapons around Dak throughout his entire career. Great offensive line, CeeDee Lamb, always having a good number 2, good running game, good tight end. Like Dak has never had a playmaking or support system issue around him ever.
But top to bottom roster.
But
that's Philly perhaps had one of the most complete rosters in NFL history last year.
But
I think you can't ignore that.
But Dan, in the Super Bowl, they didn't play like it. The run game was not great like what it was all season. Like Barkley getting 70-something yards was on a lot of carries. They actually the Chiefs did a good job against the run and said, Hurts, you're going to have to beat us.
And let's be honest of who really was the MVP in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The defense, but Jalen Hurts did his part. He didn't.
No, I'm not taking anything away. And I think a big thing about Dak that had put a damper in his career, which is unfortunate, is his injuries the last few years. I think we're missing out on the full potential of Dak because of those injuries he's been suffering.
We saw
with that as well. And then plus, when you end up looking at that Super Bowl as well, even if you were to plug and play Dak Prescott right at that quarterback position, I think it's safe to say that Philly defense still would have held Mahomes to 22 points. Sorry, but I'm probably going to say that Dak Prescott, even if he made mistakes, is going to score more than 22 points.
No, he wouldn't.
With everything that he has, man.
Go look at his playoff games.
This is an exhausting hypothetical because we'll never know. We will never know. We are all obviously very, very adamant right with our takes here, but it sounds like we have quite a few Patreon callers in here.
Welcome to Fourth and Forever.
Welcome to Fourth and Forever, ladies and gentlemen. Folks, we're about to welcome in some Patreon callers. Again, we keep it about 20 to 30 seconds. It's a radio show. Technically, you tell your statement / back to it. We've got a lot of you up in arms in the chat right now. So say, for example, that you got something to say. Please feel free to come in and air it out to the airwaves. Everybody has a voice on this damn channel as long as you have 10 doll hairs. I'm just kidding. Anyway, bring somebody in.
DF Forever's up first.
Dude. Go ahead.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Hey,
What's up,
man?
So I'm not going to pound on Richie and TD too much today, but I do have to ask you both a question. Is MVP what your quarterback is doing for your team or what your team is doing for your quarterback?
Your quarterback doing for your team.
Thank you. That's why Josh Allen got the MVP. Richie, is it more for what the quarterback is doing for your team or your team is doing for your quarterback?
That's what your quarterback's doing for your team.
Thank you. See, this is easy.
No, DF, you know what's beautiful about that? Take Lamar Jackson off of the Ravens, and what would they be? Stop that. With Derrick Henry and all. Take Lamar Jackson off of them, and you tell me who's really doing for the team. Y'all just blinded by it because
they were 9-8.
Is on the team.
So they would have went 9-8
instead of what? Dan? When he's already in the team, you can't do that. You can't play it like that. As far as Hurts is concerned, I think Prescott is a bad choice, Dan, as far as quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I think you would have to ask yourself more what Justin Herbert would do on that team, maybe what Jared Goff would do on that team, if he was on that team instead of Hurts. I think I don't think I'm not a Hurts hater, but that team, but other than Kansas City, that team is built to the end. And that's all I got to say today. With love. Love you guys. Peace.
Yeah, love you too, man. Thank you so much.
Love you, DF.
Thank
Great
you,
call.
Dwayne. I appreciate that. No,
You
look,
just set up
he
TV,
makes
bro.
a very
Dang.
interesting point. He makes a very interesting point. Again, listen, I'm not taking anything away from Jalen Hurts. Solid quarterback. Solid quarterback, man. He will continue to be a top guy in this league. But I'm saying context matters. Sometimes I feel like people really put a lot of love and a defensive mindset when it comes into QBs in this league. All right. But remember, okay, there's 52 other guys on each and every single roster, which moves the needle for that team. And that's even the case for Josh Allen, although it's a slight movement because Josh carries. But regardless, let's welcome in the next Patreon caller. Come on.
JD the Great's up next.
Hey,
what
JD.
up, fellas?
How you doing?
What's up,
Hey, I'm about to
man?
say it's been a long time, man. Y'all changed the times up, flipped things up. This is the only day I can actually come on here and chat with y'all.
Hell yeah,
And
man.
I always have my one. First of all, my one question, Dan. I'm still waiting for mod status on your channel and on Kobe. I got it with Richie and TD. I'm still waiting. I mean, and say what's up, and I don't get anything. Maybe DF maybe can help give me some good words there. But you know, I'm listening to y'all talking, especially on the Roundtable and all the stuff about the Dolphins' demise, and they haven't played a game yet. And I don't understand why. You know, until they play games, none of this stuff in the preseason really matters. But since we are prisoners of the moment, everybody's great every time some game comes on. You know, it's just something I'm not used to, but I realize that's the new NFL now.
Yeah.
You know what's great, JD? You, my man.
What's that?
JD the Great.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We heard you loud and clear the whole time.
I'm driving. But go ahead.
Well, drive safe, JD. Great call. We appreciate it, man. And you know, listen, we don't want to pile on the Dolphins too much, but
okay.
all right, you gotta wait for the games to play.
So, but then again, like what? So I feel like we would be taking away from the sanctity of the show. Like this show from a DNA is just, I mean, obviously making way too soon projections. That's what's fun about it. Y'all get upset, but don't you lie to me and say that you don't find enjoyment coming in and rubbing it in our faces, say that we get something wrong. That's why you tune into this show, folks. Not for the takes, but for the opportunity to come up and rub it in our faces when we're incorrect.
Well, they know I'm always right.
Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. I don't like to be right. I just am most of the time. Somebody asked how we joined a Patreon, folks. Fantastic. What you do is that there is a link in the description, and you simply just go ahead and follow the prompts right there. You join the Premier membership, and then once you end up getting access to our wall, you will notice all of the show links that are permanent for all season long. Simply go on ahead and just hit that link, and then you'll be able to be backstage, and we'll let you in. We'll let you in, my friend.
Yeah, and this is what it looks like. If you guys were curious to join in on the Patreon, you click that link. It'll bring you here. You become a member, and you get access to all the links. That brings you directly backstage to all the shows throughout the network. You just click on Become a Member. It's just $10 a month. And if you want to pay for the whole year, then you get it at $8 a month. We've had a few Patreon members take advantage of that discount. If you wanted to go the annual route, you get to save 20%. You guys can see everything you need right here. So go check it out, folks. The link is right here in the chat. Go check it out if you want to get access. When you get into Patreon, again, you'll see all the links, not just to Fourth and Forever, might I add, but to every single show across the network. All divisions, every single show.
And college ball, by the way, and college ball, which has been a really good show me and Jay Tuck have been doing. And for you Bills fans, the Bills Roundtable with myself, Z-Bot, Kevin Masari, and Bill's Bunker as well, folks. You do not want to miss out on it. Bring him on in. Who's the next guy?
We got next up, drum roll, please, Mr. Glenn.
Mr. Glenn.
Glenn.
Hey, Glenn.
Guys,
What's up?
hey, I have two questions. The
Okay.
first question is, how can the AFC East make the Giants look like a Super Bowl champion, even if it is preseason. Those games weren't even close. Only reason Miami, they didn't play them, but you got the other 3 teams not even getting but spanked.
It's the Giants on a run, man.
On the AFC East. Y'all got it, made us look embarrassed. I don't care if it was the preseason. That's embarrassing. I mean, you guys got lost by 300 to what, 5 or something? I mean, those scores were outrageous. Y'all made Dart look like Pro Bowl and stuff.
So bad teams do.
Now, my second question is, Dan, you always on that click about it's not a
quarterback stat.
The team wins is not a quarterback stat, right?
Yeah.
If that was true, then why didn't Burrows win the MVP?
Largely because voting is from like the independent reporters. It's independent reporters. And so they cover Major League Baseball too.
Get him, Glenn.
They cover everything.
Ooh, Glenn with the spicy take. Why didn't Joe Burrow win the MVP? That's a good point. You don't win enough games.
Yeah. All right. Look.
He lost because he did not have the wins.
Thank you for the call, Glenn. That's a good point.
So again, like, so you go to NFL.com and you look at a quarterback statistics. There is no win or loss column. Like you can pull up some like random ass website that some fool in Nebraska made that's super popular, and you'll see QB record. Oh my God, Dan, I showed you. That's not affiliated with the NFL. When the actual website of the NFL.com, you know, like just an actual league does not have wins and losses as a column with their statistics.
It's called wins as a starter.
That means it does not exist. All right. I could care less of Paul in like South Dakota that made a statistics website for the NFL. It doesn't mean it's associated with the NFL. Case point and proven.
But if you blindly looked at the stats last year, didn't see win losses, wouldn't you say Joe Burrow had the best season last year?
But Richie, even if you don't look at the stats, he was most valuable for his team.
Look. So you don't need to be having a conversation with me. You need to be having a conversation with the hundreds of independent writers at the AP.
Well, to the writers, Joe Burrow should have been MVP.
So if you're wondering exactly why Lamar Jackson won the MVP when his numbers rivaled Tyrod Taylor 2 years ago, or you want to know why Josh Allen won it last year, take it up with the AP voters.
Yeah, because I'm not even on numbers. Nobody can.
Wait, I want to welcome 2 brand new Patreon members that just joined in. We have Jake and Monique that just showed up. We appreciate you guys becoming Patreon members. Salute to you guys. So hopefully you guys can call on in. Let's get to the next one, who's Lino up next.
Lino TV.
Yeah, man. What's going on? I don't mind rubbing it in TV's face. Pause. You know what I mean?
Oh.
But but one, I'm getting tired of y'all doing this thing where y'all don't want to validate my boy Josh Allen for this MVP. Just sit back, relax. He won it. It's over with. Stop hating. Yeah, I keep talking about y'all. Y'all hate when we hating on y'all team. Stop hating. TD, put them headphones on so you can hear this clearly. Stop hating. What's the hat for? What's the hat for, TD?
Just something your QB will never wear. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry.
TD, I bought you that hat.
I know that was stung. Richie got me this one.
Oh, Richie got you there? Okay.
Wait.
And I like to say, man,
the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
the Super Bowl. Something that Dolphin fans won't be able to reach either, but I ain't too worried about that. But DF made up a good point, man. I love that guy. Made up a good point. He loved throwing TD in these loops because he flip-flops on his answers. So I'm glad DF did that. It shows how TD flip-flops on his answers. 2, Joe Burrow is not MVP until he can take a team to the playoffs again. Stop with this Joe Burrow MVP bull crap. You know what I'm saying? So with
you need wins to take a team to the playoffs, and it's not a QB stat.
I don't agree with Dan. I don't agree with Dan when he says it's not a wins are not a QB stat. I don't know. We got to face it. It is what it is, man. It's a QB thing. If you don't like it, give it up to the writers. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean, that's
you gotta take it up with the writers.
Their fault. But I wanted to say this. I wanted to say this to Dan. Dan, we got to start this thing too, man. Every time these Dolphin fans come on here talking about the Bills. Tell them to put the money where their mouth is.
I like
if
that.
you think your team is better than ours, put your money where your mouth is.
I like that.
You, Glenn, CB, all of y'all.
I like it. I like it. I like it. And y'all didn't get me a Super Bowl hat. I specifically asked you when I left early. I'm like, Richie, get me a Super Bowl hat. Nothing. I'm still waiting.
Did you ask me?
We don't want to give you false expectations, Dan.
You left the day early, Dan. You left the day we went shopping for our merch.
No, what's going to happen is when we're in Santa Clara here in a couple of months, I'm going to get the one with the nice little Bills logo on the side because we're going to be playing.
Richie, Dan did leave the Super Bowl a day early, didn't he?
He did.
I did, and I had a nightmare. I lost my luggage. I missed my flight.
Yeah,
that's for leaving early.
I heard Dan on the phone.
That's why you were never supposed to leave early.
Yo, let's just say that New Orleans was not kind to your boy. This is the time
of our lives. How are you leaving early, bro?
Yo, New Orleans was not kind to your boy. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miami wasn't kind to me. I got my stuff stolen.
Super Bowl vibes.
Yeah, dude.
Super Bowl, man. You have to have a fan of your. You have to be a fan of a Super Bowl winning franchise to have a Super Bowl hat.
Dust out the books. Dust out the history.
All right, we got JT up next. My boy JT's in the house. JT, what's good, bro?
Yo, what up, boys? How we doing today?
I live in the dream, man. How you doing?
Good.
Can I put you on the screen?
Richie's seen it, but what?
Can I put you on the screen? Yeah, there it is. Air Wilson, Roundtable Sports merch. Show it off.
Look at that.
Let's freaking go, man. He just got that in.
Beautiful
I love it. Man, the Air
shirt.
Wilson shirt is a hot commodity. I mean, Jets fans right now. I love it.
He's about to go off this year. That's why. He's about to finally break that just over 1,000-yard mark. He's about to hit 1,300 this year. Watch.
Oh, yeah.
And before I go, because I got to get back to work, all I got to say is JETS, Jets. Let's go.
Shout out to JT.
Look at that. See, JT just came on in and want to send some energy towards the JETS, Jets. That's all he needed to say. Yeah. He left because he's scared that the Jets are coming. Thank you, JT. And thank you for supporting Roundtable Sports merch. We appreciate that.
That was a dope shirt. That was a dope shirt. That's about all.
Yeah, man. We sincerely appreciate it. Guys, again, the hotline is open. Again, please make the most out of your 20 to 30 seconds. Bring on the next caller.
Let's go. King Lowski!
It's the Fourth and Forever crew, gentlemen. How are we doing?
We're doing great.
Phenomenal.
Your audio sounds wonderful today.
What about you?
Let me just say that. Be quiet, Tony. Let me just say this. At the end of the day, Dan Mitchell, you'll never have a Super Bowl hat. And we don't want the Super Bowl hat from Africa from 1990. Okay. At the end of the day, the representation that y'all put forth during that preseason 38-0 is the representation of the Super Bowls y'all have. So, yeah, Dan Mitchell, get that thought out your mind. Go back there and hit Bob a couple times. Tony, let me just say this to you, bum.
Can we just leave off Cookie Dan? That was excellent. That was excellent.
And you bums will never see a playoff win for another 26 years. Okay, we just say I don't want to hear nothing. Okay, Tony, y'all are frauds, and you got a trash Wilson at quarterback. Okay, baby.
Better than Fields. You're better than Fields, man.
Dude, you know what, man? Like that is the humbling hour that we have. We have that called the humbling hour, where one of these days I'm just ready for Lowski to turn on Richie about something. You know what I mean? I would love for him to come in there and just.
We don't turn on each other
over something, you know what I mean? Like start really dissecting his takes for me, you know what I mean? And just come in here and just give TD and I the gift of watching you tear into Richie one of these days. You know what I mean?
Hey, bro, I got people tearing into me all the time. That's not Jets people. Don't worry.
You do.
It's just less now, Dan, because people know they're gonna win 2 games. So
you know who tears it to me? Parks comes on in. Parks is my King Lowski for you guys. Don't you worry, Dan. I get ripped into.
So me and Parks are actually like on the same side for the most part. He's always been, like on my side. You know what I mean? Which is always good. So I appreciate that.
We got Flicks back in the house. What up, Flicks? Flicks, you're live, bro.
Yo.
Welcome back,
man?
Bro. How you been?
How y'all doing today?
We're doing great, bro. How you doing?
It's been a while, but doing good. Good to hear. But all I want to say is Quinn Ewers is the truth.
Thank you, sir.
God.
Quinn Ewers will win us a Super Bowl.
Oh, dude.
And yeah, man. Well, that man Skylar Thompson was looking good yesterday.
Hey, that's true.
I ain't gonna lie.
That is true too.
See, this is what happens when
he left.
He's out.
That just right there tells you how down bad the Miami Dolphin fan base is.
Stop that, Richie. You don't even talk about Fields.
Folks, I got to tell you, big Quinn Ewers hater. And it's not just
Dan
because
has been since pre-draft.
Why?
You can go back and watch the receipts. It has nothing to do with the fact that he's a Miami Dolphin. It's big Quinn Ewers hater for sure.
Why?
Like, I'm
See, but when you use the word hate, though, Dan,
yeah,
I mean, it's not objective. You just don't
It's
like
not
him because he's
visceral.
better than Josh Allen.
It's not visceral. Like, so I'm not wishing ill will on the QB. I just think he sucks.
That means we got somebody.
I mean, you got somebody?
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Hey.
You worried about him.
All right. Well, guys, listen, you know what? As a reminder, my fantasy football draft is coming up on Saturday. And I got to tell you what, I'm ready to take home the damn gold. And so me and my buddies actually bought a ring. And some people are going to be like, oh, damn, that's going to be the only ring you'll ever get in your entire life. All right, but
At least you know.
I'm setting myself up for all of this. I got to tell you, hey, listen, y'all are so predictable. Anyway, what I can tell
did
you,
it yourself. I didn't say
Y'all
anything.
predictable.
Anyway, what I can tell you is that this draft assistant here, this draft kit has hands down been my secret weapon in preparation for fantasy football this year. Several times where you were afraid that your conscience is going to make a fantasy football pick at any point during the rounds, have no fear, because this is ultimately going to be your best friend. I'm talking the most in-depth data you can find, how players play against particular defenses, how they play in certain weather conditions, injury flags. Say, for example, a lot of you really want to stay away from some injury-prone players, or you want to look at what their schedule is. For example, we see Bijan Robinson has a lot of favorable matchups this year, so maybe he's RB1 in fantasy. Who knows? I guess time will tell. But it's super simple. Simply just go on ahead and link this to your fantasy football application. It holds your hand through the draft to make sure that you have an advantage over you and all of your buddies that you play fantasy football with. Once you sign up for it and use our code RTS, you will receive 15% off. And just go on ahead and schedule the DM to myself, Richie, and TD saying, thank you guys for putting me onto RotoWire, because now I currently live in fantasy football infamy. Shout out to RotoWire for being a proud partner of the Roundtable Sports Network. Do not miss out on this opportunity. You will thank us later. Damn, boys.
Only ring.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, that was a pretty big show. That was an NFC East show right there. You know,
That
what I
was.
mean?
Did we talk anything else besides NFC?
That
East
was
and
an
callers?
NFC East show. Well, like, we have some things we probably could have touched on. We could save that for Monday. We saw Brian Robinson get traded over to the San Francisco 49ers. I suppose it was probably a decent move. Hopefully there's still buyers when it comes into the wide receiver market, because those guys are in an absolute pickle, if you ask
There's
me.
another topic I wish we kind of like. Is there any concern for the Patriots?
Is there
Or are we just
concern for
walking
the
into the season like, oh, they're gonna win double-digit games? Like, that's still the energy. You guys still see that?
Well, so I think that preseason hype has stages. Like, leading up
I'm
to
just
camp,
wondering where the
like,
stages
you're
are.
high. My new prediction for the New England Patriots is 8-9.
Well,
like, after looking at their schedule, it's 8-9 for me. And that's me predicting every single game in the NFL. And so I
Did
put
they
it on
get-
X the other day. I have them at 8-9 now.
What was the score in that game? Do y'all remember?
Blowout.
Was it blowout or 38 zip blowout?
But
It was blowout. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
So-
38 zip.
So what's very often about like
4 to 10.
preseason, very much so, like when it
Blowout.
comes into the preseason, man, like we say it's preseason, it really doesn't matter. I would argue that the third preseason game, that's the game where you really don't know shit, that you have no idea what's coming out of that, because for the most part, all of the front offices know who's making this team. Most of the third stringers are already well aware of if they are going to be making that team. So I wouldn't look too much into it. Again, I've kind of shifted my energy to seeing the Pats still finish in second place, but I'm thinking 8-9 for them. They have a less than ideal schedule. But
and I'm not even just talking about their game last night. It's more the storylines of the receivers getting hurt. And this is
I saw Polk, but like
Mike Vrabel
leaks or something like that coming out. I got
there's some things happening. I'm noticing. That's all I'm saying.
Well, one thing we can say is that Mike Vrabel is running that like a damn crime family over there. He's on the hunt for some rats in the Patriots front office, baby. Because they got some damn people out there leaking information, and mafia boss Mike Vrabel is out there looking for blood.
And he looks miserable, dude. Like, I don't know. I watched that video. He hates his life.
I mean, he's in the trenches right now. I can tell you what. He's on a manhunt from the rat. Dude, imagine being called a rat by Mike Vrabel. Imagine the actual rat sweating right now in his corduroy pants. He's looking around. He can't even maintain eye contact with that specimen. I can promise you that.
He's gonna get figured out soon.
Like Vrabel's gotten 2 fistfight altercations, and it's not even the regular season already. All right, like this guy. Like, look, like whether or not that we want to have a segment of whose head coach could kick their head coach's ass. I think Mike Vrabel's coming out on top, all right? I think that if there was a Super Bowl between, like, who has the toughest head coach out there, I'd probably put Mike Vrabel up there. Like,
I would honestly also add to that, Dan, I would put McDaniel last.
Oh, yeah, dude. Mike McDaniel in, like, a cage tournament, bro. Like, he's...
Y'all sleeping on Mike
McDaniel. Out right before the bell even rings, baby.
He went to tour.
He's running away from everybody.
Like Sean McDermott, dude. Like he at least has wrestling experience. You know what I mean? Like he'd probably make it to the Final Four. I think Sean McDermott. I'd probably give him that nod. But we know the final matchup would be Dan Campbell and Mike Vrabel. Who comes out on top? I'm not so sure. Have 2 Gen Xers with the salt and pepper goatees. Who knows? I mean, it's anybody's game.
That's a funny segment.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, well, hey, you know what? Like we have way too much to talk about now. Maybe next offseason will be my coach can kick your coach's ass. Like that's going to be likely a segment to look forward to because Fourth and Forever is indeed a year-long show, folks. We're glad that everybody has returned from their long hibernation. Football is back, but we are setting you off.
You won't be here next week, right, Dan? Or is that
Monday? I will be.
Okay.
Yeah. Monday I will be, and then Dose of Dion will be covering for me from Tuesday through Friday. I will be out of town, but have no fear. I'm sure that Dose of Dion will be able to bring the heat as always. Richie, what do you got to say before we let them enjoy their weekend?
Enjoy the weekend of the last time that we're watching any sort of preseason football. You know, this is where all the backups are playing. If you guys want to check me out tonight, I'll be live on Jets Media throughout the Jets and Eagles game. Come hang out. The final game. No starters are playing, by the way, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, we appreciate you guys. See you next weekend. Want to give a big shout out to the super chats as well. Brantley sent in a $5 super chat earlier on in the show, and he was showing us a lot of love. So Brantley, thank you so much for the generous $5 super chat. Appreciate you, my man. Flick says Skyler yesterday, when he's not running to his offense, he dominated. So shout out to Skyler Thompson. I want Patriots, Bills in round 1 of playoffs. Oh boy, Patriots really think they're making
no,
playoffs,
you don't.
Huh?
No, you don't, brother. All right, man. We have that. If quarterback wins is not a quarterback stat, tell me how many quarterbacks with losing records made the Hall of Fame, but there has been any positions. Glenn, take it up with the league, my friend. Go to NFL.com and screenshot the column where you see wins and losses on NFL.com, not some independent website. It's nothing. Glenn, we've been arguing about this for a very long time. But at the end of the day, I actually have receipts to prove my point. Yo, boys, Phil Bob Friday. I am going to fill Bob up after we're done with this show. All right. I still have yet to fill him up. He's been begging for it. All right.
So with that, enjoy your weekend.